Hi, Tom here. Welcome to today's video. Aquarius, the last few weeks have brought clarity to you. You stabilized your identity. You stopped over-explaining yourself. You became more present instead of hovering above your life. You grounded your insight. This week is different. This week isn't about refining who you are. It's about allowing yourself to be seen as who you've become. From a Vedic perspective, energy now moves into outward visibility. Not in a dramatic way, but in a natural one. This is expansion rooted in self-acceptance. And for you, that definitely matters. Because you've spent years being ahead of the curve. Sometimes so far ahead that you stayed slightly detached. But now, you're not ahead. You're aligned. You may notice subtle opportunities to step forward. Not attention-seeking, not spotlight-driven. Just moments where your voice carries weight. Your ideas land differently this week. Your presence feels more anchored. This is expansion from embodiment. Aquarius, your strength has always been originality. To see the bigger picture. You think differently. You hold perspectives that others don't even consider. But this week teaches you something truly important. You don't need to stay unconventional to stay authentic. You don't need distance to stay free. Expansion, that looks like participation. You may feel comfortable sharing your ideas this week. Less guarded, less concerned about being misunderstood. Because you're no longer defining yourself by contrast. You're defining yourself by clarity. And clarity expands naturally. So here's the deeper lesson for this week. Visibility doesn't compromise your individuality. It amplifies it. You're no longer expanding away from the crowd. You're expanding into your role within it. There may be invitations this week. Conversations that lead somewhere. Collaborations that feel aligned. Spaces where your perspective is not just welcomed, but needed. Say yes carefully, but don't shrink. This isn't random exposure. This is earned positioning. You also may notice that your confidence feels quieter, less reactive, less rebellious, more integrated. That integration makes expansion sustainable because you're no longer reacting to who you were. You're expressing who you are. This week supports stepping slightly beyond your usual comfort zone. Not radically, but enough to feel growth. Enough to stretch your presence. Enough to test how stable you really are. And you are stable. There may be a moment where you hesitate. A part of you wanting to stay low profile. To avoid visibility just in case it brings scrutiny. Pause. Growth will always bring eyes. But you are no longer fragile in your identity. You don't need to hide to stay safe. Now, let's talk alignment. One intentional practice for you this week. Share something meaningful publicly or semi-publicly without over-editing yourself. An idea, a perspective, a truth. Let it stand. Notice how natural it feels. That's expansion rooted in self-trust. As you allow this outward growth, notice what changes internally. More steadiness, more certainty, and less need to detach. That's your individuality becoming embodied and visible. Aquarius. This week isn't about becoming louder. It's about becoming more present in the space you already belong in. You're not expanding away from yourself. You're expanding from yourself. And that kind of growth lasts. And you need to trust that. There's something important you should know. These horoscopes are based on Vedic astrology, also known as sidereal astrology. That means we're using the actual positions of the stars in the sky, not the tropical system used in most Western astrology. Because of that, your sun signs here may be different than what you're used to. And that's okay. In Vedic astrology, we don't start with the sun sign. We start with the moon sign, because the moon represents your mind, emotions, and how life is experienced day to day. First, always watch this for your Vedic moon sign. That's where this horoscope will feel the most accurate and personal. Next, I recommend watching for your rising sign, also called your ascendant or lagna. Your rising sign shows how these energies show up in your physical life, your body, your environment, and the situations unfolding around you. Then, you can also watch for your sun sign, which adds insight into your identity, confidence, and sense of purpose during this time. And if love, relationships, creativity, or money are major themes for you right now, I also recommend checking your Venus sign, called Shukra in Vedic astrology, for an extra layer of clarity. For weeks where things feel intense, faded, or life-shifting, it can also be helpful to look at your lunar nodes, Rahu and Ketu. These show where growth is pulling you forward and where old patterns are asking to be released. To find your correct placements, make sure you're using a Vedic or sidereal natal chart, not a tropical one. Once you know your moon, rising, sun, and Venus signs, and optionally Rahu and Ketu, you'll get a much deeper and more complete understanding of what's unfolding. If this message resonated with you, please like the video. It truly helps support this channel and allows these messages to reach the people who actually need them. And if you're enjoying these weekly Vedic horoscopes, consider subscribing so you don't miss future messages for your signs. You are not one sign. You are a system of energies, learning how to work together. Take care and be calm.